should never work with children or animals, but what about your other half? Two people who can tell us if it's a good idea or not are Hollywood stars Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you for coming in, guys. Good morning.
So, the big company, big launch, which we'll come to in just a second, but that question, working with your other half, how compatible are you? Now, we'll come to the marriage and meeting in a moment, but in business.
The marriage is a disaster, but when we work together,
it's very rocky.
It's very harmonious. But in truth, you know, we'll fight over what we're going to eat for dinner. We'll fight over every darn thing.
How we handle the kids, etc.
But when we're like shooting a movie together or a TV show or doing anything together professionally, we have the exact same goal, which is rare. And most couples don't get to have the exact same goal or benefit from each other's partner's kind of genius. So for us, it's awesome because when we work together, I'm like, oh, that's right. She's incredibly talented and is going to make this day easier.
That's such a lovely thing to say. That really is. But so that's sort of professionally. But personally, what I loved about both of you is that you're very, very open about the fact that relationships are hard work and that actually you need a lot of input and a lot of help in order to keep things on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, we're more just honest. Like, it felt very inauthentic to pretend like this, like it's easy. Because it's not.
It's a beatdown being married to me.
It is so hard. No, but you really, I mean, we met, we fell in love. We're both very stubborn people. And year 1 and 2 was turbulent. And we thought, we need outside opinions. We need a bigger toolbox. Everyone's born with a tiny toolbox. So we went to therapy. We figured out how to disagree but still love each other.
So how did they, what did they, because when you met, you said there were no sparks at all. It took a while for the sort of heat to start to burn. But when you go, as a couple, when you go to therapy, and essentially you're taking the importance of your marriage, your relationship to someone else, what did they say to you that made it right?
Well, if I could say, it was embarrassingly simple. Like, this gentleman listened to us argue for 6 minutes, and he goes, okay, I know exactly what's going on. You're an ex-dirtbag. You always think you're in trouble. You get quiet with depression. When you're quiet, he thinks he's in trouble, and the whole thing blows up. So all you got to say now is, I feel like being quiet today has nothing to do with you. Bob's your uncle, and
I think also huge. Our desire to have this particular therapist tell each of us that we were right. We were looking for vindication, both of us. We were like, well, he's just going to finally tell him what he needs to know. And the therapist listened to us, and the therapist went, woo, and then started going like this. He goes, you guys hear yourselves? Oh, my God. And then we were both so offended that we were like, well, give us notes. How do we improve? And we were really striving to please the therapist.
Yeah, we wanted the therapist's approval because it wasn't enough to just pay. We also wanted approval.
And you are incredibly open about it. And it's funny, Prince Harry, who I know you had on your incredibly successful podcast, he's just said recently that actually us Brits are pretty rubbish about talking about therapy, actually embarrassed about it, and we don't want to discuss it. And over in the States, you guys are leaps and bounds ahead.
Well, I think, yeah, we're maybe like, I want to say 10 years ahead, just simply because even 10 years ago, people didn't really talk about it openly. But our thing was a lot of people would hashtag on social media like relationship goals, and we were afraid someone thinks they're just going to meet their Kristen Bell and it's all going to be easy. And so we just wanted to say, like, it is awesome, and it requires daily work for it to function.
It's like going to the gym. If you want to, you know, change and get a six-pack, you have to do sort of the work. Also, I personally feel like I am not at all embarrassed to say I go to therapy, solo or with him. I almost feel like if you're not in therapy, that's embarrassing.
If you're just content with where you've evolved to at any given day, and that's the end, like you're at the finish line.
Well, I mean, lucky because you've got the resources over there, maybe a lot more than we have here. It's quite hard to get it over here.
Yeah.
We're not quite, as you say, 10 years. It's a long time to wait, but hopefully we'll get there eventually.
Maybe we can add that to the game show element. You could win some free therapy.
Spin to win and we'll give you therapy at the same time. I don't know whether it'll take off, but we'll give it a go. That's one thing, you know, that's relationship, that's meeting, that's marriage, that's children. Think, right, OK, we've made movies together, now let's go into business together. And so tell us how that worked.
That was really simple because when we had kids, we lived in Los Angeles, we had every single conceivable store, boutique, we're overpaid, we could pay anything we wanted for products. Thank goodness, Kristen's like very, very strict about what goes on the kids' skin, what's on their bodies at all times, what they eat. I don't care. You know what? If they're not crying, we're good. But we're both from very, very working class backgrounds in Detroit, and we thought this is kind of unfair that our friends and family back home wouldn't be able to afford this or have access to it, because where is it? And we just were in a unique position to go and start big enough that it's incredibly premium and also very, very affordable.
We like to say it's your mom's ingredients at your dad's prices.
Right.
That's so good.
Nice. And so this is essentially, you know, sort of baby products, things that are
Nappies.
organic. And
It's called Hello Bello
Yeah.
because we wanted her name in it because she's more appealing than me as a human being in general. So, yeah.
And so this is something that's been incredibly successful over in the States, and now you're bringing it here.
Yes, but not too successful that you'll hate us.
No, we don't.
Whatever that level is here, that you still like us.
Our
We
perspective
love
is
you.
really there are so many people doing great work in the baby space, but no one was hitting that tiny zone of accessible and affordable. And that was really what we were going for, because we don't ever think anyone should have to choose between their baby or their budget. And that's a reality for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, with the cost
And
of
also,
living
it's
going
quite a
up.
difficult thing, I suppose, to break the mold of someone who may be doing the same as their mom or dad did, and you get used to the products that you have around you. That is sometimes that's just a tradition.
Yeah, and that was also one of the main goals, is creating a community that was like-minded with us, of like, let's talk about how messy this is. Let's talk about how hard it is to be a parent. It is stinky, and sometimes you hate the way you're doing it and you feel like a failure, but like, can we come to a place and laugh about that and say, you know what, we're all doing the best that we can?
Yeah.
And financially and sort of spending, I mean, obviously with the business, but even within your own lives, when you got married, I think, wasn't your wedding the total bill?
$147.
Well done.
I think that's actually more than it was.
Well,
but if what, gas for the Lincoln?
I tallied
Okay.
gas
Okay.
because it was a gas guzzler that we took.
Oh,
We
there's
went to
cute photos of us.
Yeah,
Oh my
we
God,
went to
that's
the
cute.
courthouse. Dax picked out my outfit. I was gonna go in a sweatsuit, and then he was like, "Well, our appointment at the courthouse. What are you wearing?" I was like, "I thought you wanted to be casual," and he was like, "I'm gonna go pick something out for you," which was so cute. And then I also tallied the playlist of like you would put on my favorite song, like my favorite Brett Dennen songs
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
made a
on
little playlist
playlist.
into the wedding.
That's
Yeah.
very romantic.
I mean, that is an outrageous sum of money. I can't believe you'd be prepared to spend $147.
When we go to other people's wedding, we're like, my goodness, are you all Rockefellers? This is quite an extravagant expenditure. Wouldn't you rather have a home?
Yeah, it's true.
Guys, it is absolutely lovely to talk to you, and there's so much we could have talked about. We're running out of time.
I
now.
assume you guys know you're viral in the U.S. currently?
Is that
Are we?
right?
What have we
Oh,
done?
big time.
Always
We
scared.
done
What have I
now.
done wrong?
You had a guest on who showed you some photographs that were very eye-raising.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and that is huge
Yes,
in the U.S.
indeed.
I don't know if you know that or you care, but...
I've got the photos in here. You can have a
Oh,
Oh,
right.
fantastic.
I can judge from your reaction what they are already.